I'm just looking at something. I did a bit of research this morning on universalism. Seems to be connected with annihilationism. I'm going to share a couple of pages. Can't find out what university he went to. I think it's important generally. It's useful to know. Because I've noticed some CEOs or leaders of some of these evangelistic organisations have been to some Jesuit universities, surprisingly, although I'm not that surprised. Oh, he's from Canada. Right. The apostasy. Can't find out anything about him. I might just do a Google search. There's not much going to come up. He probably went to some sort of Baptist I'm not going to register with Facebook, by the way. I wonder. Right division. Dave, news unit was vexing his soul over it this morning. So what? Can't find anything on here either. I'll put a link to this one. If you can find out what university he went to, I would be very interested. Well, not very interested. Curious. That's all. Anyway, and this website here, Rodney FM. Not much info on there about him. I mean, I don't want to do any ad hominem attacks or any of that. I wasn't really going to look into this universalist garbage because I come across this about 2 years ago with Nutty Andy, Oxfordshire man, as he likes to call himself. Yeah, true. Really, I don't want to give a description what it's like trying to talk to Andy about that garbage. Plenty of other people have spoken to him about it. But history of Christian universalism, I'll just share this page and I'll put a link. I'm not so sure that Ace Theo really is universal. Well, he calls himself universalist, I think. But I don't really think he's a universalist. I actually think he's closer to being annihilationist. Universalism, I mean, we know what the doctrine is, generally. Everybody will be reconciled to God. Yeah, some interesting comments. I mean, I know it's Wikipedia. You know, don't get your panties in a bunch. I'm sure you'll find I mean, I wouldn't trust everything you read on Wikipedia, but what it's saying does actually make sense. Annihilationism. Like Andy, these universalists don't want to believe that there's a hell, a place of eternal torment. Just making me dinner. Universal salvation may be related to the perception of a problem of hell, standing opposed to ideas such as endless conscious torment in hell, but may also apologies, I'll just read this again. In fact, I'll enlarge the screen anyway while I'm doing this. Make sure it can be seen clearly on there. I'm going to put a link to it anyway. Have we already put that in there? Yeah. And yeah, universal salvation may be related to the perception of a problem of hell, standing opposed to ideas such as endless conscious torment in hell, but may also include a period of finite punishment similar to a state of purgatory. That sounds Catholic, obviously. I'm going to say something like that. Believers in universal reconciliation may support the view that while there may be a real hell of some kind, it is neither a place of endless suffering nor a place where the spirits of human beings are ultimately annihilated after enduring the just amount of divine retribution. Blah, blah. I mean, universal, if I was to translate that into Greek, universal would mean Catholic. That's what the word Catholic means, universal. So believers in Catholic reconciliation may support the view that while there may be a real hell, blah, blah. This universalism stuff is weird. Many adherents assert that the suffering and crucifixion of Jesus Christ constitute the mechanism that provides redemption for all humanity and atonement for all sins. So what was the point in preaching the gospel then? Because if the suffering and crucifixion of Jesus Christ was to bring about universal redemption and all that, then there's no point in preaching if everybody actually is just going to be saved anyway, reconciled to God. 10 minutes in the annihilationist view of whatever they think hell is about. Punishment. The headings that come under universalism here. Conditionalism. Because is annihilationism connected with conditionalism? Let me just do a search on this page. It shows up twice. An alternative to universal reconciliation is the doctrine of annihilationism, often in combination with Christian conditionalism. That rings a bell somewhere. Some Christian leaders, such as influential German theologian Martin Luther, have hypothesized other concepts such as spiritual mortalism or soul death. I don't follow Luther. Seems to go back a long way. What's the biblical background, the history? I wouldn't be surprised if the so-called early church fathers were Clement of Alexandria. Why is he mentioned? Origen. Well, that, yeah. Oh, this is, you know what, I mean, I said this a few times. What's that word that these universities, yeah, they like using the word eons. And I mentioned it to a brother in Christ on Skype. They keep going on about eons and this, that, and the other, onions and blah, blah. I said, that sounds like Gnosticism. But here we are, Origen. According to Daly, who's Daly? Oh, Brian E. Daly writes that Clement viewed punishment after death as a medicinal and therefore temporary measure, and that he suggested with great caution the related prospect of universal salvation for all intelligent creatures. For example, in his Stromates, Book 7, Chapter 2, Origen, according to Daly, Origen was firmly convinced that all human souls will ultimately be saved and united to God forever in loving contemplation, and that this is an indispensable part of the end promised by Paul in 1 Corinthians 15, 24-28. Daly also notes that Origen sometimes called this final state of universal salvation apokatastasis, and suggested it was already a familiar concept to his readers. Apokatastasis. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Apokatastasis, the Greek name for the doctrine that ultimately all free moral creatures, angels, men, and devils, will share in the grace of salvation. Apokatastasis, BillMounce.com. I knew it was Gnosticism, and nobody would really sort of. I'm not even sure I needed someone to confirm it for me. But I'll show you this. There it's already on screen, I think. And I've got Bill Mounce's. I don't use the Strongs. I won't bother with it. A lot of people set a great deal of store by it. I won't bother. That's just me. I'll share this tab. In fact, I'll share this link as well. I'll put that in the side chat. I've got to stir my little stew that I'm making. Give me a second. Turn the heat down. Just don't want it burning at the bottom of the pan. You have to bear with me. just hope these eggs are cooked. Gonna slice some eggs onto the top of my little stew that I'm doing. Go and have a look at this. I knew it was Gnosticism. Most of the false teachings that are out there stem from Gnosticism. Apocatastasis. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, there's Rodney. Rodney Beaulieu. Sounds like French descent. But I've heard some of the things he's said. I should have got a transcript of it, really. But I personally, I actually thought it'd be a waste of paper and my ink, because it can be a bit expensive. I'll go back to this page. Now then, where's the other? Conditionalism. That's the first one. I've read that. Oh, right, yeah. Anyway, I was looking at something else this morning. I would encourage you to have a quick read of this, but I've known this for a couple of weeks. Not that it's a big deal. Anybody could guess it. When somebody uses certain terminology, you think, where have I heard that before? Somebody going on about eons and this, that, and the other. Straight away, as soon as I heard that, I thought, yeah, this guy's some sort of Gnostic. But it's connected with annihilationism. It's connected with annihilationism. I'm going to put that as the title of my video. And conditionalism is equivalent to universalism. You might not see it. That's okay. I don't care particularly. I'm just making a point. I'm not trying to be clever with you, I don't know everything. All right. Look, I could be wrong. But this universalism, annihilationism, conditionalism comes from Oregon. Oh, I don't know why. Oh, it's up, yeah. So I don't actually believe. Now I'm thinking, because I know it seems to be a very tenuous, lightweight connection with annihilationism. But they do reject the idea of hell, what somebody else referred to as the Augustinian. Was it Augustinian torture chamber thingy? Ace Theo falsely accuses Christians of saying that they want everybody to go to hell. Well, that's not true, Ace, you dummy. My dad passed away in the 3rd week of November last year. I didn't tell anybody because it was none of your damn business, right? I didn't want somebody typing their condolences into the side chat, right? Can't trust any of you. Why would I, I didn't even tell Bill till about 3 weeks later. But that's not the point. The thing is, I don't actually want anybody to go to hell. Certainly not my dad. I know for a fact, or at least I'm convinced, that my mother isn't saved. She's 83, 84 maybe. Right, so I was looking at, I'm not going to tell you, why should I? Yeah, I'm not going to say much more. If you are watching and you at least make a comment so I know, have some idea. Check this Wikipedia article out, and I'm sure, I know for a fact that there will be better articles on it. Yeah, I know Wikipedia isn't reliable, but it's sort of a useful leading into looking into something a bit deeper. Modern Unitarian Universalism emerged in part from the Universalist Church, but being a non-creedal faith, it holds no official doctrinal positions. Universal reconciliation, however, remains a popular viewpoint among many of its congregations and individual believers, including many who have not associated with the Universalist Church. I've got to read this bit again because I want to nail it home a little bit. And I'm going to make a point, and it's going to sound as though I'm trying to be awful when I aren't. An alternative to universal reconciliation is the doctrine of annihilationism, often in combination with Christian conditionalism. Some Christian leaders, such as influential German theologian Martin Luther, have hypothesized other concepts such as spiritual mortalism and soul death. You see, I think, I'm not 100% sure if Ace did mention about the soul dying or the spirit dying. Spiritual mortalism, let's have a look. Christian mortalism is the Christian belief, so-called, that the human soul is not naturally immortal and may include the belief that the soul is sleeping after death. That sounds like Jamie Russell. So, comes in the same ending. I'll have to have a look at it separately. I'll put this link in again. I'll put a short URL in. Don't worry, it's not a spammy. Go and have a look. Or don't, suit yourself. But I've got to make this point here. Because Dave, News Unit Underground, going on about universalism, and that's absolutely fine. Of course it is. I mean, I want to see those people come out of that lie. It is a lie. Universalism is false teaching. So is pluralism. Can't remember what it was. But Dave's going into a channel run by, 3 annihilationists. Jace, I think he's annihilationist. There's a couple of others that are annihilationist, and yet Dave goes to that annihilationist channel. That's up to him. That's up to them. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I'm making an observation. Right? But there's a connection between universalism and annihilationism, and I've just premiered a video this morning of Dave in Praise I Am's channel when they are annihilationist. And as far as I know, they've only just realised, certain people in that studio regularly, that the Babylon whore is the Roman Catholic so-called church, which they denied some months ago. And now they believe that, and they're the bastions of it. almost as though they discovered it, I was learning about the Babylon whore within months of getting saved in 1992. I looked it up in dictionaries and things like that. Tried to do as much research as I could in the library, and obviously studying scripture, Daniel, Revelation, and other texts and other books I managed to borrow off other Christians in jail, and little leaflets I found and what I learnt about Catholicism, the history, Fox's Book of Martyrs, all that sort of thing. So it's nothing new to me. But the connection, I don't understand where you're at, Dave, really. I'm not even going to try to. Frankly, I really couldn't care less that much. No offence, but you go to basically an annihilationist channel. That's up to you. That's up to them, right? And you're going on about universalism to them and the problem that it is, theologically and biblically, obviously, I understand that. But it seems a tad incongruous that you would go to their channel and go on about it. Well, that's up to you, I'm not complaining, Dave. I'm not relying on you for knowledge either, by the way. Or Eric. What is it? Oh, he's called Wealth-Bitten. I don't hate the guy. I just can't stomach that kind of, pretense. Apparently, I need to go to him for teaching. I don't. I've never thought I do. I don't think it's arrogance. And look, maybe I do have a little bit of Dunning-Krugers, like most people. I might think I'm better at something than I actually am. There's always somebody out there who's more knowledgeable than me. I know that much. But none of you men in Christ, if that's what you are, actually don't need that any man should teach you. You shouldn't do either. Unless you're young in Christ, you only got saved yesterday or something. Yuri needs to get saved. He's obviously messed up. He let the cat out of the bag this morning when he said a certain thing. I wouldn't want to sort of go overboard with it because of him saying that. I could repeat it, I can't be bothered. What a waste of time. Seriously, he doesn't listen to anybody. He doesn't even listen to his own friend who he's been friends with for 10 years. And this isn't just screaming about having a poke at him. I find him uninformative and a complete waste of time to talk to. It's got his sad guru, hasn't it? Just hope this egg's cooked all right. Anyway, I won't be going to your channel anymore, Dave. I won't be going to Praise's channel anymore. I might go over there, record the odd dumpster fire, I'm not sure what the point of going there is, really. Just peel this egg. I know I've been a bit toxic myself on YouTube. Tempers get flared. Tempers get flared. Personalities clash. Assuming most Christians on YouTube do have a personality. Bear with me, I'm just doing the other leg. Anyway, I've been noticing this universalist stuff since the first time I ever spoke to Andy. I know others have been talking to him about it. He has got, I mean, I don't hate Andy. I don't think I would enjoy conversation with him. It's an absolute waste of time. He thinks he's nailed it. As far as I know, he thinks he has, anyway. Now then, what's the one I'm going to use for my Master Chef meal? Turn that off. Oh, yes. Compliments to Chef, i.e. me. Oh. What else was I going to say? Yeah, bear in mind, you know the best thing to do is if you want to expose false teaching, study correct teaching, the Bible. God's Word, the King James Bible. And then when you hear something contrary to it, you should know don't forget it takes up your time. When you're looking into all these false teachings, by the time your day gets eaten away. Hope you like my poetry. But your day gets eaten away. By the time you've done a bit of research, this, that, and the other, like you could spend 4 or 5 hours. And then that's half of your day gone. Your day is more important than... Because these people will not be convinced of the truth, will they? They're not going to be... They've dug a pit. And they're not coming out of it. Because it'll be too embarrassing for them. It'll be like an open shame. People will take the mick, and they know it. Because, well, we know what Americans are like. I'm not keen on telling you what I think of Americans, really, at the moment. That's another waste of time. Not all of them. I've seen some excellent people on YouTube rescuing animals, all that sort of thing, you know. Very rarely do I come across any really excellent Christians on YouTube that I want to spend a great deal of time talking to. And if I do, most of the time, understandably, they're busy with their own lives. So I'm not complaining. Believe me, I know how to do without. I'm an expert at it. But I'm not expert. But I can deal with it. I don't want to sound awful, but really I can do without you. Can't rely on other people. It's a bad idea. Psalm 118, verse 8. Don't want to sound awful. I'm just saying. Anyway, Dave, I don't know if you bother with any of my videos because you know more than anybody ever could do. So I can't see you bothering. But I do wonder why you go to an annihilationist channel to not complain, you know, but why would you go to an annihilationist channel, essentially, to go on and on about the problem of universalism? They're both basically the same thing, you dummy. Oh, that is a bit hot. Anyway, I don't know who's watching. If you're not able to comment, then you've obviously been blocked. I haven't got a lot of patience with people. You know something? If somebody emailed me, and this should explain something to you. Somebody emailed me and said, "Oh, Bob, I want to have a discussion with you. Are you busy? Are you awake? You know, this, that, and the other. Do you want to chat?" Do you know what I'd do? I would set up a live stream within 5 minutes. Right, as long as it's somebody I knew, sort of. And get online. Because I'm a night owl anyway, so not everybody is. Ben is on a sabbatical. Beg your pardon. Ben is on a sabbatical. He's having a rest from warriorship. And people saying naughty words. And Graham. Well, I don't know why he worries about it. Well, not worries, maybe not, but I am grateful to Praise I Am, though, for one thing. And it was accidental. It wasn't something that he would set out to help me with or make the effort. I think I would. But that's just me, and it's just my opinion. But where is it? No, not that. Oh, it's over here. Oh yeah, a linguistic argument, for God. I mean, look at that. I mean, he didn't even show me that directly. He was doing a video on creation versus evolution, this, that, and the other, you know, information, stuff like that, which I am into. I've done some studies on it, especially coding and things like that, which I understood from my studies in electronics and mathematics. Which, even if I say so myself, I'm pretty good at. Better than the average bear in the woods, anyway. Anyway, I found this by accident. It wasn't because Praise directed me to it, but he was showing me. I'll show you what he was showing. This here. The 5 levels of the information concept. Coding, basically, genetic coding, error correction codes, which you get in electronics as well, by the way. I'll share a link to this, because I'm a really kind sort of chappy. Really? Yeah, there. It's a tiny URL, it's trustable. Don't worry, it's not to spam or anything like that. So we've got all this. This is what Praise was reading out, somebody else's scholarship, which is fair enough. I mean, you know. Found this. This is something I've been looking at for months and months. Well, for about, how long would I say now? Since possibly October last year, maybe September. Been thinking about certain thing. I did ask questions, which you can prove on Clubhouse of certain people, but I didn't get any really intelligible answers. I got a bit of help from Sam, Redefine Living. And he's busy, he's got family and this, that, and the other, you know. So, a linguistic argument for God's existence, which I've been thinking about for months now. I didn't phrase it quite this way. I perhaps sort of should have done. I had a different way of phrasing it. Logic is a syntax for thinking. They didn't sort of get it straight away. But after a little bit of explanation, I think they understood what I was driving at. So I'm obviously going to look at that. And if Praise I Am ever does a video on it, I won't be watching it. I've been looking at this as well. GEDP theory. I've probably come across it, but not phrased that way. Manuscript evidence and things like that. Which I'll put a link there to it. I'm gonna print it out, I think, as long as it's not too many pages. Anyway, if anybody is listening to this later on, maybe you could talk to Dave about this connection between universalism and annihilationism and conditionalism. Because I won't be going there to talk to him about it. Because I'll try and explain it to him, and then he'll say, oh, give us a minute. And then he's going to start trying to teach me. As though I'd never said anything. I was on the, what do they call it now on StreamYard, where you're a team member and you just go in and start a stream. I was an admin on his StreamYard. I deleted my admin status on StreamYard in Dave's channel, by the way. Now then, I'm not going to end my stream yet. Because, oh yeah, Veckel made some snide comment at me the other day. So what? You know, some Christians are really quite rude, aren't they? Well, what did Veckel say? Oh no, I'm not even going to show it, I don't even care. Oh, I should tell you though, Jace, a font of wisdom, is starting a channel and he's going to, Jace says, I'm starting a YouTube channel soon, Janet, in other words, Janet Duttridge, showing how a man of God's steps are ordered by the Lord. Yeah, right, Jace. I'm not sure how to answer that, really, if you know what I mean. Yeah, well, Jace has experienced near-death experience and apparently a Damascus Road experience. I did give Veckel, not a snotty, oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I think it was deserved as well. This is why I'm sick of those people, basically. No, I don't hate them, you know. But go to Praise I Am's channel. It's just weird. What was it Veckel said? He'll probably do his own video commentary sometime later on today on this live stream, trying to convince everyone how much of a better Christian he is than everyone in this panel. Never thought that at all, Beckel. Thank you for the straw man, the ad hominem, the childish comment. If you see Beckel, let him know. Give him a timestamp. 49 minutes in. But while you're doing that, go and check out a discussion that Beckel had with Tom Rabbit and another separate one with Jack Angstrike. You tell me who the clown is. Really. Because there was a time when Praise I Am was going to do a video on the dodgy doctrines of Beckel. I'm sure a lot of you have disingenuously forgotten that. Oh, wow, look at it. 20-4 already. See what I mean? Some people are just a pure waste of time and it takes up time. I wonder what this video was going to be. I don't know why Praise would delete it. Oh, that's better. Ice cold drink, soda or whatever you call it. Fizzy pop. Here's Layman's Seminary. Now, Layman's Seminary is wanting a debate with... Well, Layman's Seminary is a free gracer. I mean, read his comment there. And he wants a debate with a hyper gracer. And that seems a bit incongruous because going by Layman's Seminary's comment there, he's a hyper gracer. So I think Layman's Seminary is really wanting a debate or discussion with a hyper duper, super duper hyper grace boffin. So if you know anybody who hyper gracer in comparison to Layman's Seminary, if beg your pardon, that was genuinely accidental. If you know a super duper hyper gracer that wants to have a discussion with Layman's Seminary, please, I would encourage you, send them over to him. I think it might be interesting. There'll be something to learn from it, I think. I would be very much interested in listening to a discussion between Jay Patrick and Dwayne Burke. I would love that. Oh, yes. Oh, I've only got one little bit of egg left now. I love cheese sauce. Oh, what? Praise God for cheese and milk and bread. I love bread. Don't you? Freshly baked bread and some nice, lightly salted butter. It's heaven. With a, well, I don't suppose Jesus would agree, but with a nice piece of decent ham on it, fresh bread, freshly out of the oven, nice, lightly salted butter, some ham, maybe a bit of cucumber, a bit of lettuce. I don't know. Oh. Well, there's Praise. Yeah, he got a bribe from Smokey. Not that I mean, I don't even care. It's not my fault that he typed that in, and I screenshot it, didn't I? What am I supposed to do? I thought, I never really. Well, I don't know if it did occur to me that was happening. Honestly, don't. I can't honestly remember me thinking that all those months ago. Over a year ago now. Oh well. And I'm going to show Jason's comments now. Oh, here's Kevin. The KJV isn't perfect. Okay. Why does Graham keep deleting or hiding the italics? It's ridiculous to think that God didn't preserve his word until 1611. No, God preserved his word all the way up to 1611 and to today. Yes, it has been preserved all along, but you seem to have a real problem with the King James Bible, don't you, Kevin? What are you using? The NIV, NKJV, HCSB, NET, NLB, NLT, NASB, NASB, CET, NET. Oh, I'm sure I could reel off, a long list of all the so-called Bibles that are false, that come from, guess where? Alexandria, Oregon, Gnosticism. So, as I said earlier, if you know any hyper graces, super duper hyper graces, that would like a debate with a free gracer as extreme as this nutter, I mean, that's insane, that. Right, then, I would encourage you to get them discussing stuff. I can't remember what half these comments about. Oh, he's on about Kevin there. All right. I can't remember. I mean, these are months old. Don't take it personal, anybody. It's not my fault that you type stuff into your side chat and stuff. It's yours. Don't blame me. Yeah, well, Graham, Kevin aren't friends with Praise I Am anymore. Oh. I mean, seriously. Oh, there's Bible talk. And I'm gonna eat my stew. I'm not going to tell you what's in it. But none of this is personal, I don't hate any of you. Can't be bothered. I mean, it's hard work. I was a hater for about 12 years in jail, and all it did was cost me more time in jail. It got me nowhere, and I didn't upset any of the screws. All they did was keep throwing me down the block, the segregation unit. And it cost me a lot longer in jail. So I learnt that hard lesson even before I got saved, I think. I think what I'm doing, I mean, you can accuse me of trying to justify myself. I'm just shouting it from the rooftops. I'm making sure that, if somebody does a live stream Because Praise I Am apparently has deleted about 400 of them. And I know there's other people who do the same thing. I do. I delete videos. I ask people if they want me to delete a video about them or whatever. But I record. I record them for archival reasons. I wonder if Dave's awake yet. News unit, you muppet. Oh, I love cheese sauce. It's lovely. Don't know why I screenshot that. Yeah, Jace has made some extremely deep comments this morning. Not. Oh, yeah. Jace has called me a little demon and Jezebel and blah, blah. Yeah. I can assure you, or maybe not, that Jace is never going to disagree with XO, blood finds its own level. Anyway, who cares? It's not my problem, it's his. Yeah. Children of the Corn. That's a comment in Praise I Am side chat. Yeah. I couldn't care less about Veckel particularly. I don't hate the guy. I don't despise him. I just think he's thicker than pig shit. Oh, Jesus, time came twice and it still was not my time, Carl. In other words, Carl Gettner. Because he's had a near-death experience. He's probably had every experience that nobody else has ever had. Damascus Road experience. All sorts of deep and meaningful stuff. I mean, Jace here wisdomly says, God is self-serving. Oh, he doesn't even need us, yet he sent his son to serve on us. To serve on us? What on earth do you mean, Jace? Jude will explain in subsequent videos. I mean, Veckel accused me of trying to prove I'm better than everybody else. That's never been my reason. Never tried to do any such thing, I don't think. I mean, it may seem like it, but first time I've heard of it. Actually, Veckel, that accusation you levelled at me, you know something? I wonder if that's really true of you. Every time you go into a certain person's channel, or any person's channel, you always manage to turn up in the middle of it and ask everybody what's going on, as though you actually want them to just drop everything and explain everything and update you. I would never do it. I would just tell you to watch it later or whatever. And by the way, I think Veckel's only angry with me because this is only my opinion, man. I could be wrong. Because I shared a video of his conversation with Tom Rabbit and Jack Angstreich. He didn't appreciate that. And I probably didn't expect him to. Anyway. Right, I don't think I'm going to end the stream here. I'll stop sharing the screen though. I'll just play this. I will be coming back in a minute. I know you'll miss me. Hello. I'm going to play some of that boring music that Veckel likes. What is it? Feeding the Ducks. I didn't realise that was in there. It shouldn't have been in there. Deleting that. I don't want a copyright strike. Oh. I mean, the free music they give you, it's bogging. Yeah, I think I've had enough. Can't think of anything more to say, really. I've got a few things I want to do. I've been meaning to do all day. It's amazing. I mean, I've spent an hour on here already. I don't know if it's going to get a decent reach. Most of my videos don't. I'm not worried. Some people do listen, But have a look at that universalism connection with annihilationism and conditionalism, Gnostic teachings, Gnostic heresy, I should have said. But it's connected with Gnosticism, Origen, who's that other fella? Yeah, his name is Rodney. It's not Rodney Below. It's French. I'm not sure, but it's not. I might even get it translated and get it pronounced. Rodney Beaulieu. Oh, let me just check. See if I can get an audio on it. Not trying to be clever, Dave. I'm just saying, Rodney Beaulieu. Oh, he has written books. Oh. Oh. No, let's see if I can get. I know, I'm going to translate. So it usually gives you the. But bear with me. Just me. English. Yeah, Rodney Beaulieu. Beaulieu. That's a compound of two words, that last name. Rodney Beaulieu. But it's not Rodney Below. Although he may pronounce it like that. It depends, doesn't it? Yeah. Right, that's enough of him. Oh, I have heard some of his sermons, so-called sermons, and I did notice something else with his so-called teachings. I'm going to double check it first before I say anything about it. I don't believe that Dave noticed it. I did. I'm sure other people will have noticed it. Right, I might go now. Unless somebody wants to come in and chat. If you can't comment, you've obviously been blocked. You're staying blocked. Yeah, I'll probably end it there. I'll play my outro and then I'm gone. Unless somebody comes in chat and says they want to come in. I don't anticipate it, but you know. Oh, hello. Hello there. Are you coming in? Who is it? Is that you, Dave? You woke up, Baldy? Go in for 10 minutes if you want. Oh, he's gone again. Okay, good riddance. See if I care.